And there we go. After what has felt like hours of driving, hours of travel, and the worst part, and the most British part if you ask me, the absolute hours of torrential rain, we're finally out, we're on holiday, and we're going to go ahead and check out what's around here. Welcome to Cleethorpes Beach at Haven. I wasn't sure about car was going to go for a minute, but well, we've got ourselves a nice little, well, I'd say it's a little caravan, it isn't, it's that one over there, but still, going to go and have a little bit of a drive around and go and see if we can, well, get ourselves some dinner. So a little bit later on, we've gone down to where the whole like complex arcades and assorted things are. We've got the jump over there, which looks intriguing. We've also got yourselves the Wetherspoon over here called the Humberstone. We've got Splashaway Bay and so much more over there too. For now though, it's been a long day. I need dinner. Anyway, going back now to the van for the first night of, well, quite a fair few here at Cleethorpes. The weather's not looking too promising tomorrow, but hopefully we should be able to find maybe something to do. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a caravan tour, because we didn't do one so far, but who knows. We'll see what we can do. And, well, there's only one way to find out, and that's by going on to day number 2. But let's go see what's going on back at the van first, shall we? Well, there we go, back by the van, back by, I believe it was Ashcroft 23, as we can see by the little sign just there. I've got to say the entertainment tonight was certainly something, as you can probably tell from the video clips. Like I say, the weather isn't scheduled to be particularly brilliant, but we'll find something to do, hopefully. Anyway, let's go back into the van, because it's getting late and it's getting a little bit chilly. I'm in a coat, as you can see here, but that's only going to keep me warm for so long. So let's get back indoors and grab myself a coffee. So it's been quite a fair few hours later. It is now nearly midnight on day number 1. I'm just kind of sat here chilling out, watching a little bit of the British Superbike highlights, which I've got to say does look pretty cool indeed. However, that is the end of day number 1. However, we do have day number 2 on the way for you in just a few moments' time, where we get to go back out there. Well, you can't see it because of the curtains, but past the curtains, there's an outdoors, I promise. And because the weather doesn't look too good outside, I will be definitely taking my jacket and just hoping that my camera doesn't get too damp. Anyway, on to day number 2, I think. Good morning and welcome to day number 2. We are going back to the little adventure village, and of course all the stuff over here. And something else I don't remember if I actually showed you yesterday was this one over here, a little bit of Slim Chickens. And apparently the outdoor pool is straight behind that, and the indoor pool is to the right, but there's people over there at the moment and I'm pretty sure they don't want to be filmed, so I'm going to keep the camera pointing this way. Anyway, today's plan is have a little wander around the site, have a little look-see around, go and check everything out, and hope that that lot doesn't open while I'm out here filming, because I don't want to get well, too soaked. Right, so some driving and some walking later, we've managed to somehow end up in a completely different park, 0.2 miles away from the one we were literally just in, because we're trying to find where the local beach is, and to be honest, it's a little bit confusing and I've got absolutely zero clue where I'm going. Oh well, good news, I know where it is. Bad news, it's extremely windy. And so, a bit later, after we've had some dinner and watched it rain and then not rain and then rain again for hours and hours, finally back outside just for a little bit, get a little bit of fresh air, having a little wander around the area they call Ashcroft, which is, of course, all of this lot over here. We've got some, well, I would say some interesting stuff. We've got a bird over there, we've got a bird in the air, we've got some plants over here, and that's probably about it. As for what type of plants, I'm not too sure. We also have some really old caravans, for example, that one over there. We've got one that looks like it's kind of replicating the Leaning Tower of Pisa over here as well. And we've also got a really, really old one a lot further off over that way, which I think we'll probably explore tomorrow. And if I've got enough footage for tomorrow, then that will probably end up being part 2 for, well, I guess the little bit of time that we're spending on holiday. Also, I've just noticed there's a massive hole right there. I genuinely kind of, I wonder what used to be there. I wonder if there used to be like a bunch of caravans in this area. Either way, it's not too warm out here, so I'm going to jump back into the caravan because I've also bought myself a nice set of Hot Wheels as well, and I definitely want to show that off in the video. So it's been many an hour since I filmed that last clip outside, but I did mention about the Hot Wheels car that I bought, and it is this one that I've been trying to find for quite a while. It is the Hot Wheels Ford Lotus Cortina. If my camera wants to focus, there we go, got there in the end. It is, of course, a very interesting one. It is the long card, and something also kind of interesting I found out about this is if I go ahead and actually pick up the camera real quick, while it does say Cortina down there, over on the box art, when it wants to focus again, it says console, which are two completely different vehicles, and it's been like that since this was first brought into the Hot Wheels casting, which I find very, very interesting indeed. However, now I can do something a little cool, and with the help of a little movie magic, we have ourselves, when it wants to focus, again, my camera doesn't want to work with me today, but we have ourselves a nice little Ford Cortina, which is pretty cool indeed. It is, of course, the racing version, so it doesn't have front, nor does it have rear bumpers, but it does still have all of the fun little quirks that a cool little Cortina does have. And one of the other cool things I like about this thing as well is, as you can see at the kind of side of the car, it does have a side exit exhaust alongside a bunch of other different sponsors and even its own little racing number 2. Alongside that, it's also got itself a cool little Hot Wheels thing. It's got a Castrol livery. It's also got this tiny little thing at the back, which I'm not quite too sure what it is, but it is certainly quite cool indeed. However, in the meantime, that is basically all I've got for part number 1 of this little trip down to Cleethorpes. We've got a little bit of, we've had a bit of time to wander around the caravan. We've also had a bit of time to go and explore the car park, well, the rest of the park as well. I'd say used to cars, I ended up saying car park, what's wrong with me? But we did have a little look-see around, and of course we got time to have a little miniature tour of half of the caravan. I would do the entire rest, but I've got people staying with me, and I'm pretty sure they don't want a camera in their face. But you do have yourselves a nice little kitchen area over here. You've got a nice little, I guess, table and chairs over here too. And of course, the main living room. In the meantime though, let's go ahead and go on to day number 3, which will of course be at part 2. And it'll look, well, a bit like this. So I've wandered a little bit further down. We were just down there about 2 seconds ago. Apparently there's what looks to be this, I guess, abandoned train station here. And so we'll start off with this. We've got the lounge where you've got areas you can sit down and watch some TV. You've got the kitchen where you can go and cook stuff over here, and if you dare to be adventurous, maybe using that too.